Okay, so this is part 2 of the recording. I'm going to leave a space so I can just put it in. So we'd scanned everything down. I have seen everything in the map. I am going to now close the map. I know that because I can look at my map up here, I know that BXS, this one right here, is the wormhole that I've just come in through. Now what I'm going to do, but this is just for me, I prefer to do this, is I'm going to go back to my original bookmark and I'm going to add BXS to this because it helps me identify that this is the wormhole exit that goes back into my home wormhole, or leads back to it at least, is that SIG. So if we come in here later, it's easily identifiable. So on that basis, I will head to BYQ. As I said, you can head straight to 0, and we're going to go take a look. Since I'm in warp, I'm going to use the opportunity of reloading my core scan probes and recloak before I get out there. This is a T405. What is a T405? Hang on a second. I have put this out there in many of my live streams, but now we're in a recorded one, so I will put this out there as well. There is a website called Wormhole Type, whtype.info, and it looks like this. There we are. So if you take a look at this, it shows you all of the various codes. So when you come to a wormhole, if you look at your overview, you will see the word wormhole and then a code. Now, if it's a K162, we'll get to that. You will not find this on this list. But this one is a T405. There we are. So I'm hovering my mouse over T405. It's a wandering wormhole, i.e. this is not a wormhole that will ever be a static wormhole. It spawns in a class 3 wormhole, so you can see that C3, this is what we're in. It can also spawn in Thera. It will lead to a C4 only, so you know it's C4. It will always be up to battleship size, and 2 billion kilos worth of mass can go through it. It will last for 16 hours, and it will usually be a level 1 SIG when you're scanning it down, so it's a fairly easy one to find. So that's whtype.info is a great little site. Again, you can cross-reference this, so I've put it over the code of the wormhole. But in this case, if I wanted to, I could go to, we're in a class 3. What are the likely wormholes that we will get in a class 3? So these are all the ones that you could potentially get in a class 3. All of those. You see the T405 is one of them. Then if I wanted to find, well, what were the ones that lead to a C4? They are a T405, an M001, an M609, and all of the ones that you see there on the left. And then if I want to work out, again, you carry on along the line. What wormholes will allow a battleship in? What wormholes will allow a freighter in? What wormholes will allow up to a huge capital ship in? And that's those ones. Really useful as a reference point. Again, which ones last how long? You can do it here. So these are the 4 wormholes that will last up to 48 hours. Pretty rare. The usual ones are 24 or 16. As you can see, a much bigger cross-section. So 16 and 24 are the normal ones. Wormholes, most wormholes are class 1 and 2 scannable. Class 3, to be fair, has quite a few in there. Yeah. Right. I should close that down. So we're back at this wormhole, and it is a T405. I know it's a C4 because I looked at that. In fact, in my case, I would just put it into my map, and it would tell me that it's a C4. So I'm going to save the location, like I said before, C4. The SIG here is BYQ, and I do not know where it leads, so I'm going to leave it at that. Now you'll note here that I have set it to expire in 2 days. That's because wormholes collapse. As you saw, the longest wormhole out there will last 48 hours, and after that it will collapse. So there's no point in having this SIG in your locations file any longer than 2 days. So I click submit, and there we are. Okay, I'm not really excited about this one. I don't want to go through it. I want to see what else leads out there. I've got enough stuff to do in here. What I am going to do is in my map, I'm going to give it a T405. That way it is marked down on my map as being a C4. Right, let's head to the next one.
Drive active.
So part of the reason I'm doing this is because I want to test out putting videos into YouTube and into Twitch as well. We'll see. Right, this is a U210. Again, I would normally go to the website that I spoke of, but in this case, I am just going to simply type it in. It is a low sec one. It leads to low sec, so again, very easy. We don't bring it up. No, we don't. We just sit there. Oops, no. I started moving towards it. That was not a good plan. Not a good plan at all. I'm about to decloak. Am I going to decloak? Very close. Very close decloaking. I don't want to decloak. This is a low sec. It is MHA, and I do not know where it leads. Now the low sec one in this case I do want to go through because I want to find out where it leads within known space. Quickly before I do that, I will once again do a D-scan. No, it seems to be okay, so I'm going to head through this wormhole purely because I want to find out where it leads to. And how close to one of the trading hubs we are. There we are, and again as I come through I save the location because it's the one I came through, and there is one whole SIG in here. Oops, cancel, not that one. There we are. Normally my map would follow me, but I hadn't set it up properly. So now I know where we are, and that this is a certain distance from Jita, a certain distance from Amar, or a certain distance from Heck. There are, if I look in local, let's have a look in local, there are 2 people here in local. So, yeah, pretty quiet. And then I could go and look on .lan if I wanted to find out more information about it, etc. But I just really want to find out where it leads to in K-space. What am I likely to be facing on the other side when I'm doing sites? Seems like a pretty quiet area. And I probably will go later onto .lan and look at how busy it is, just to take into account how, dangerous it is for me to be doing sites in a wormhole next to a low sec entrance. Right, we have one more wormhole to go to. We are warping over to it. Cloak on. And we're off. This is a K162. I said earlier that we would look at K162s. This is a K162. So a K162 is the, should we say, the delivery end of a wormhole. So it's not the initiation end, but the delivery end, and those will always be K162s. What that means is that a wormhole has opened up somewhere else, and this is where it leads to. That can be because someone's come through. It can also be just because someone warped to it, initialized it just by warping to it, and eventually, even if they didn't go through it, it will in inverted commas, appear. So what we pay attention to here is this. To start with, this wormhole leads into unknown parts of space. Now, unknown means it's either a C1, a C2, or a C3. If it said dangerous unknown, it would be a C4 or a C5. And if it said deadly unknown, it would be a C6. For all the other parts of space, like high sec, low sec, null sec, or POCVEN, it will say leads to high sec, or leads to low sec, or leads to null sec, etc. So that gives you an indication, and what I will do here in terms of bookmarking it, nope, I'm going to head towards it that way, which I didn't want to do, my bad, is here, oh, okay, could I have that back out here please, and could I have it small, there we are, little mistake, is I'm going to mark it as C1 to C3, I'm going to use a capital C because that's our convention. Once again, that's the only difference really. MTO, 3 question marks, and save it. Now I know where it leads. I actually want to find out where it leads because that's only 2 away from the home system. So I'm going to turn off my cloak, initialize my micro warp drive, and we're going to head through. Because I would like to know where it leads. And it leads to a C2 with a high sec exit and a C1 exit. So it has a static high sec and a static C1. That's nice. Again, as I come through, I quickly bookmark the entrance that I just came through. That way I can always come back to it. This is interesting because it has a potential for getting to a high sec exit. I am going to set myself up here to orbit around this particular wormhole and cloak up. So now that we've found some hacking sites to do, I'm going to head over to Joe, who is my hacker, so to speak, and I will bring him up also on this recording. Capture, and we want to go to Joe Lost eventually, hopefully. There we are. Sorry, I'm leaving the live chat up, by the way, in there because it blocks off a lot of stuff I want to keep secret. So it helps. Perhaps I should design another page for recordings, probably the case. It helps me if I have the live chat up for this one because I can then easily, I can easily just leave it that way and without covering everything up. This is my first recording. I will adjust and adapt as we go. Please. Hopefully you'll watch the development. Now on Joe, I'm going to get into that expensive ship that I spoke about. What I will do is I will check that I am in the right clone. So the clone I want is the one that has the neural lace black glass net intrusion in there. What that does is it gives me an extra 20 to the virus strength, even if it reduces my virus coherence, which is effectively my life. You know, the available hit points if you're a Dungeons and Dragons person. It reduces it by 40. This 20 strength bonus is invaluable, as you will see later. So that's very important. It has other things as well, but that black glass is really the most important part. Now, this is not the normal skin that I'm in, so we're going to go to the Friendship skin. There we are. No, Friendship League. We'll clean the ship, not that you have to do any of this, but there we are. Look, it says Friendship on the side of it in glowing letters. And we're going to head out. Now we know that the C3 is out there. In fact, I'm going to use the opportunity of... So what I did when I bookmarked all of that, by the way, sorry, I'll go back to what I'm going to do, is I shared it to a shared folder. So all of the toons in the corp can see that folder. And so I can see that new C3 SIG. And what I can comment on is that it wasn't changed because Joey didn't come back through. So I can change it now just by looking at the map. And see that the last 3 numbers are 538. 538. Add those in, so now the corp knows which one that is. And we're going to head straight through. Now I'm in a bit of an expensive ship, so I will do a... Ooh, there were some hobgoblins in here, which I could go and snap up. Might do that as well in the 24-hour stream. Go on a 2 hours of just picking up abandoned drones. Right, so we're going to head straight for the first of the sites. You'll notice I can't see any of them here. Sorry, I can't see any of them here because he didn't do the scanning, but they are bookmarked over here, and therefore I can head straight to them. So we have the ruined Blood Raider Temple, and I'm going to warp to it. Apparently I'm not. Yes, I am. Hooray. Ruined Blood Raider Temple site. We'll close that because I have been to too many of these. I don't need to see it. So this is a relic site. What you can't see is my overview. Shows me very clearly which cans are out there. Now I'm going to do a quick descan. Force field. No, we're all good. And I will head to the first one. Decloak. Now you could do this cloaked, but eventually I'm going to have to decloak because I'm going to get too close. And I also have to use one of my modules, but this allows me to get there quicker because I'll turn on my micro warp drive and just micro warp drive to it. Might get a bit of a bounce. No, we didn't. Turn off the micro warp drive. We are now in the orbit that I want to be in, and start the hacking. Now hacking is easy. It's a sort of mini game. 3 there tells me that there is something 3 away. Now, I've started in the middle, so to be honest, that could be anything. In this case, nothing good. Ooh. Now, you'll see here my virus strength, which is this, is 45. Normally, that's 60, but because of this little bugger, if you'll see, it says, while the virus suppressor defense subsystem is active, your virus strength is reduced. You can attack the virus suppressor by left-clicking. So I'm going to definitely attack it. And again, now my virus strength is back up to 60. Now I did lose a little bit there. I lost 15 because I had to click it twice. So I went from 100 down to 85, but that's okay. 85 is not bad. 60-40. Now 60-40 is interesting because its life coherence is 60. My virus strength is 60. So I'm going to kill it in one go. This here is its virus strength. It will not do anything to me unless this number is higher than 60. Because if it is, I'm going to have to click it twice. And if I have to click it twice, I don't kill it in one go, and then I will lose up to 40 points on the second time that I do it. But in this case, because its coherence is 60, I will just kill it in one go, and you'll notice that nothing happened over here. That's the importance of my virus strength being so high. This here is a something hidden. Now I ignore these. I'm going to click this one just so you see it. There you go. It's a bad one. Look, that's 80 and 10. Now 80, I'll be able to kill it in 2 hits because I'll take it down from 80 to 20 in the first hit, but I will still lose 10 on the second hit. That'll be 10 from my virus coherence. So the first click, there you go. I didn't kill it in one go, so it effectively got like a hit back at me. But the second time I kill it because it hasn't got enough virus coherence left. 60-40, again, will kill it in 1, so I ignore it. As I said, I tend to ignore these dots because although they could be something good, I don't need them. So I ignore them because they can also be something bad. This is a utility subsystem. I will definitely take that. And down here you see it has 3 effects. For 3 turns, it will add 5 virus coherence. When I click it the first time, it'll take my virus coherence up 5. And now, as I move through, for the next 2 clicks, I will get 2 more virus coherence. This is good. This is a this is a secondary vector. That will split the next baddie that I face in half, which it didn't because I didn't use it because I'm stupid. There we are. So this is 90-10. If I use this, it will reduce the coherence of a defensive subsystem or system core, which is what this is, by 20. So this will take this down to 70. It'll still take me 2 to take it down, unfortunately. There we are. And now I can open the can, and it's 25.2 million. That's nice. That is a nice can. Now, in the meantime, someone could have appeared somewhere here in space and be hunting me down. So it's important to descan in the meantime. Apart from being, if they're cloaked, I can't see them. So that'll just be the risk that I have to take. I don't see anybody, so I feel good. But descanning regularly whilst I'm floating around here is a very good thing. So I'm going to unlock this target. I'm heading towards towards the next one now. I will show you. There we are. Heading towards the next target. Once I get below 6,000, I can activate my scanning module, or my hacking module. This is in this case a Zugma integrated analyzer. It is the reason that this ship is so expensive. It costs about 400 million ISK because it will do both hacking of data sites and of relic sites all in one module. What that means is that I have more space in my mid slots to fit other stuff in. And that is one of the reasons it's so expensive. Normally I would have to use 2 slots. Right, here I have a kernel rot. The kernel rot will halve the coherence of a defense subsystem when I left click it. So I would click it, or I could press 1 and then I attack it. You'll notice that it halves it to 45. I haven't taken any damage, and since my virus strength is now stronger than that, it'll just kill it and I will have taken no damage. I don't have one now, so again here, normally my virus strength is 60, but because this is a virus suppressor, it's 45. The coherence is 60, so you can work it out now. Hopefully it'll take me 2 goes to kill this. One takes down to 15, the second one kills it. Alright, so that wasn't what this is not the droid I was looking for. Good, I can use that. Again, if you get these, click them immediately, increase your coherence. It can only do you good. Alright, 2, 1, no, 5, good lord. 1, there it is. Again, it'll take me 2 to get through that, but I have enough virus coherence, so that's fine. Look at that, 777,000, not really worth it. We're going to do a quick descan, and let's head to the next one. Unlock this target. Since it's so close, I can target it immediately. And we're off. I'm going to stop walking through each of these. These ones, actually I say I'm going to stop walking through each of these. A restoration node you must kill as quickly as possible. Because if anything else is on the grid that is negative, this will add defensive coherence to them. So you see, if you look here, it says it will restore coherency to other undiscovered defense systems. So while the restoration node subsystem is active, it will restore coherency. When it says restore, it will add to it. In this case, it's going to take 2 to kill it. I will take a hit of 10, but that's well worth it because it will cause huge problems if I attack other things. Oh, this is one of my favorites. It is the polymorphic shield. It will protect you from 2 attacks, and if you only use 1 of its 2 attacks, it will stay there until you kill the next one, or until you face the next one that requires it to be used. There, so this is an 80-20. I will activate it. So I will take it down from 80 to 20, but I will take no damage because I have the shield. So there we go. So it's down to 20, and because this time my virus strength would kill it, it will not use the second protection of the shield. So that will stay there until I face the next one. Here's an example. So I have 1 more, so this will take it down to 20. It's now gone, but I didn't take any damage, and it's now dead. And there we are. We are at the core. So I got through the core, and it's another 1.4 million ISK. That's always nice. Right, we're heading to the next one. I'll start running these a little bit faster now because we've run through pretty well everything. If you want to see how it all works, then I will not keep repeating myself. I will just do the hacking. Do the scanning. Did the scanning. Okay, let's go. And this is what it looks like in fast mode. Ooh. An atom, that's nice. And we're heading to the next one. D-scan, nope, nothing. Lovely. There we go. 2.7 million. Here we are, speeded up mode. Fantastic. Hello. 4.3 million. So that's nice. So if we take this away, about 36 million. That's a nice site for a relic. So we've done that one, so we will remove it from the bookmarks and we will head to the next one. He says there were definitely two. Were there two? Was it just one? No, I'm sure there were two. Let me head to Joey. Really? Okay, Joey's going to come back through. Why? Because I seem to have not bookmarked one of the two sites. And he has the bookmarks. Or he has the scan. He has the scans. So he will come in and sit off this gate. Hello. Okay. Ruined Serpentis Monument site. No, he seems not to have saved it. So we're going to save it. Now, interestingly, if you look at Joe's... Well, I'll show you this here. So if you look at the Joe's locations here, the ruined Serpentis Monument site, which is what I want to basically get to, is orbit at 10. Sorry about that. Is now slightly grayed out. It takes 2 minutes if someone else brings it into a shared bookmark folder for it to become solid. In the meantime, I can't... Oh, can I? That's a good question. No, shared location is still too new and is not yet available to you. So it takes 2 minutes for it to appear properly in my bookmark folder, and then I can warp to it. So I'm going to have to be a little bit patient here. But again, a good learning lesson, if you like. So if someone else puts a new SIG into your shared bookmark folder or some sort of new bookmark, you won't have access to it for about 2 minutes. And you won't be able to warp to it, you won't be able to interact with it until such time as it goes solidly green. So here we'll just keep it here, just so you can see it happen. So all the ones above are already green. Oops, sorry, that's me just pouring myself some more water. Whilst I wait, in fact, probably what we'll do is we'll head to one of the data sites. Because at least there are 4 of those. Cluster shutdown alert. Hello. Okay. 5 minutes, we're getting cluster shutdown. There we are, it's now gone solid, so now I can warp to it.
Warp drive active.
That away again. And we're off. And again, because I know that other people could come in with 5 minutes to go, it's unlikely, but we have all of these, you know, I'm checking the D-scans just to make sure that we hopefully are not being watched. I haven't got long to do this, so I'm going to do this quickly. The nice thing is, potentially, another thing that can be shown to you here is that as I'm going to hack a few of these, I'm going to leave one can unhacked, and I think that at downtime, this happens sometimes, not always, sometimes is that it will respawn all of them, which would be fantastic, because then I get lots of rewards. Three, two, one. There it is. 2.2 mil. So I'm going to try to leave one can here, and then after downtime we'll see if it has resurfaced. Now for you there will be no downtime because I will stop the recording and I'll restart the recording after downtime. But that way you'll see it. The beauty of recording. Oops. Hello. 3, 2, 1. Hopefully, yes. And a shield, a bit late, but never mind. No, it's not too late. Wow. There it is. 4.6 million. That's nice. Not quite as good as the last site, but you know. Beggars, choosers, you know how it is. Let's hack this baby. Nope. There it is. 4.7. Not to be sniffed at. Those are nice sizes. So we have 6 cans in here. If they were all around 5 million, you know, you're talking about nearly 30 million. So, again, just grateful. Oops. Hello. Wow. Well, that was lucky. 3.2. 2 cans to go. Must remember not to hack the last can. Quickly, 1 minute 32 to go. Will we make it? That is the question. Oh, damn it, we went outside the range, so that happens. So could we please hack it again? Now we have less time. Fantastic. Not quite. Let's use it. Lovely. 2, 1. Use it. Nope. 4, 3, 2, 1. No. Oh, this is going to be really lastminute.com. Yes, we got it. And it was 7.6 mil. Okay, I am not going to hack the last can. In fact, I'm going to warp off. Where am I? No, I think I'll stay here for a second. Just leave. I don't know if I have to leave the site or if I should stay in the site. Anyway, we're going to let the cluster shut down in 16 seconds. and then we'll come back to it. We've made 61 million so far for 2 sites. That's not bad at all. You know, we've got 4 more. Whoa, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more data hacking sites. So I reckon we could well get over the 100 million just for this one system. That's great. I like that. Okay, cluster's going to shut down. I am going to stop the recording here.